Today we are going to solve a SQL problem from LeetCode. The question number is 1731. The number of employees which reports to each employee. I will give you the link of this question in the description, but that you can also practice along with me. First, let's understand the problem statement and then we will divide the problem into smaller pieces and then we will solve it. First, let's understand the whole problem statement. Here we have a table called employees where we have employee ID, the employee name, and the ID of the employees these employees are reporting to, and the age details. We will write a solution to find out the manager ID, the manager name, and number of people reporting to that manager, and the average age of the people reporting. For example, look at this example 1 input and output. Here we have employee ID and the name is Hershey, and Hershey is reporting to none of the people, and employee 6 and 4 who is Alice and Bob reporting to employee 9 who is Hershey. So Hershey is a manager. So we need to print the manager ID, the name, and number of people reporting to Hershey and their average age. If you still don't get it, look at this example 2 input. Here we have this table, employee table. Here Alice and Bob reporting to Michael. So Michael is a manager. So we need to print the Michael, the name and the ID and number of people reporting to Michael and the average age. And then Charlie and David reporting to Alice. So Alice is a manager. We need to print Alice and number of people reporting to Alice, that is Charlie and David, that is 2, right? And the average age of these 2 people. That's it. I hope you got the good understanding of the problem statement. If you don't understand it, please revise the video or read the whole question on your own. After that, start to code. First, let's break down the problem into smaller pieces. First, we need to write a query which gives us the manager details along with the employee details, and then we will find out the number of people reporting and the average age. So whenever you are facing this kind of situation like two different entities such as employee and a manager exist in the same table, we need to make a self join. Self join is nothing but joining the table by itself. Okay, like select star from employee, and I will call this table as E1, and I'm going to make a inner join. Inner join gives us common rows from both table. And I will call the table 2 as E2. So whenever I'm going to pick up a manager details, I will use E1 table, and whenever I'm going to pick up the employee details, I will use E2 table. Okay. Now I want to make a self join based on these 2 key columns, that is employee ID and the reports to column. So I will join E1 table. E1 table's employee ID should equal to E2 tables reports to column. And now when I run the code, here you can see, and this is our E1 table and this is our E2 table. In E1 table we are having the information about the managers, and this side E2 table we are having the information about our employee. So basically it's a whole table. I'm just thinking in your mind. Okay, I hope you got it. And our next step is to find out the number of people reporting to each manager. Don't confuse between these 2 employee ID. Okay, this is the employee, this is the ID of employees, and this is the ID of managers. Okay, I hope you got it. And now we are going to find out the number of people reporting to each specific manager. So I am going to use the group by function. I am going to group it by the each employee IDs, and then I will count number of rows per each group. By that we can easily find the number of people reporting to a specific employee. You need to group by E1.employee ID. Okay, if you group the table by E2.employee ID, you will you are trying to group it by each individual employees, not the manager ID. So try group it by the E1. This is our E1. Okay, this is our E1 table. So group it by the manager's ID. And then from that we will get the manager ID and then the manager name and I'm going to use a count function to count the number of row per group. And now when I run the query, and I will name this column as reports count. And now when I run the query, here we have got the manager ID, the manager name, a number of people reporting to those particular manager. Our next step is to find out the average age of the people in each group, and this is the formula. That is nothing but number of we need to sum the employee age for each group, and then we need to divide it by the number of employees in each group, and we need to round it to the nearest integer. So I'm going to use a sum function, and I'm going to, and again now you need to use the e2.age because we are going to sum up the employee age, not the manager age, and then divide it by the count of total employee per each group, and then we are going to round it to the nearest integer. For that I'm going to use a round function. Now I'm going to name this column as average age. And that's it. Now we will submit the code. Okay, still okay. We need to order. Okay, we need to order the result set by the employee ID. This is manager's ID. So I'm going to use order by and order it by the e1.employee ID, which is the manager ID. And that's it guys, we have finished it. And still some people are having confusion between group by and window function, because aggregation function like sum and count can be used along with the window function too. The main difference is group by helps us to collapse the every row and return only one single row per group, but window function on the other hand perform the calculation over a partition of rows and return every row along with the summary value. So that's the difference. In our case we only need the one row per group, like the average age and number of people reporting. So we have used group by function, and I have used inner join because inner join only combine the matching rows from both table. So I hope you got it, and we will see in the next video. And guys, I hope you practice along with me, okay? Just by watching these videos, you will never learn to code. It's just a 10 minutes video. First try to solve it on your own, and if you know any better solution than this, please drop it in comments. It will be very helpful for everyone.